Hi guys, welcome to another Monday Mini Talk, a show where we talk all things Warhammer and other hobby related stuff. And it's a new year and oh boy, we do have a lot of talk about. Last episode was before Christmas, which was 3 weeks ago, and in these 3 weeks we got so many things going on, it is insane. We got the full release of the Old World, and about a million different articles that previewed it. We also got a lot of other stuff, like new Dark Angels and some single minis, but we can talk about it in some other time. This Monday should be just about the Old World, and boy, these weeks were a crazy ride. But at this point, the pre-orders are already in progress, and honestly also pretty much over. So let's take a look at this new World of Legend. And the question I am asking today is it actually worth the money? Because a lot of people are still arguing about the whole price thing and selling the old minis. I gave it a lot of thought, because of course I spent a lot of money this Saturday, but honestly I actually thought it would be much worse. It all comes down to the point from which you are joining this ride. If you are like me and you have an army pretty much ready for some action, it is easy for you. You buy just 2 books, maybe 3, with the Arcane Journal if you are playing Bretonia or Tomb Kings, and you are set to go. And that is actually a very good option. And you can see that this was pretty much the case for a lot of people, because even the books are sold out like everywhere. Even at my local hobbyist, they sold out Saturday in about 2 hours, and I don't really remember any other product that sold out as fast. And as I said, it is a great option, because if you are locked behind some huge box, I don't want for the release. Like in the case of 40k, it would suck. The second point of entry, or perhaps expanding the first way, is, to buy all the books, which is me. But still, the cost of actually playing is not that high. If you consider that with these books, I can play effectively 5 armies I already have at home, or I can even add stuff in the future. But it is still just the case for an old player with the army ready. Now, if you are a new player, or you want one of these 2 armies in the boxes, the cost goes a little bit higher. But I honestly believe that the boxes are a good value. They are old minis, yes, and for a foreseeable time they will be old models, and unless you want to 3D print the whole army, which you can and it's quite easy to do, you can basically field 1250 points on the table with both boxes. Plus both boxes are really heavy on the core minis, and there are a lot of trash stuff, and it gives you a good starting place. Plus you have the book, so you just need the army book or the Arcane Journal. But when you decide to expand the force, you can actually see that the boxes are much larger than we are used to in 40k or AOS. So if you want to expand now your Tomb Kings with the Tomb Guard, the box is actually 20 minis, which is just a nice value, even for the old minis. And the same thing is happening with the new Knights on Foot for the Bretonia, and that really excites me, because it is 20 new scalps in a box with a great modularity and all options for just cost of like 5 Terminators. That is great. I just hope it is not just a starting bait and it will be like this with the whole range, for all the factions. So if you actually decide to expand the force and to fill the last 750 points, I feel like by the stuff I saw that one of these large elite units and either some constructs like Sphinx or Sepulchre Knights for the Tomb Kings or Grail Knights for Bretonia, and you are actually settled for 2k points. That is not that bad if you consider the cost of other large game systems for GW. And I really do like it. It was really hard for me not to pull the trigger on the Bretonians, and I will still be tempted. But don't worry, I could not resist for a little treat, so when the time is right, you will get some Bretonia greatness on the channel. And for the game itself, I absolutely love it. The things I saw on YouTube, on Miniwar Gaming and other channels looks really promising, and I can't wait to actually play in like 2 weeks. It really looks like the best of Warhammer Fantasy met with the Middle-earth strategy game, and had a beautiful child full of nostalgia. Now I am working to be ready for the actual release with my dwarves, which you will see in a minute, but first, I wanted to cover the release in a more detailed way, because it is a game that I love very much, So over the few weeks I'm putting out videos each week, or maybe 2 per week, with a somewhat of a deep dive into a faction, but not about the rules. More about the models and what range you can actually use for that race, or what models you can proxy, or my favorite 3D printing stuff. And with each of these videos I'm painting one of the minis from the range, in a scheme I like the most from each faction. You probably noticed some community posts on the page with questions about your preferences, and it is still time for you to put in the vote, because the release will be in order of who gets more votes. It will take some time and will be dragged out a little bit, but it gives me time to really put in the work. And I'm very excited that I can actually do that. But for now you can see my progress with the dwarves. It is not as much as I wanted, but pretty much everything is primed and based, and all I need are the details and some colors. You will see my process in Dwarves Faction Focus, but this weekend I actually finished my engineering guild part of the army. So the Grudge Thrower, Cannon, Thunderers and my Master Engineer. I talked about my plans a while back in another Monday Mini talk about the plan for the paint scheme, but just shortly I want the different colors throughout the army for the cloth and heraldries, because the main color throughout the army is metallic and uniform shadow color. So the engineering guild has a blue uniforms, and some other will be red or green or purple, and they are probably the main colors for this army. But the engineers are ready, based, magnetized and on the movement trace. I'm not sure if that man of Thunderers is a good idea, but we will see when the book arrives. But that is the thing I wanted to show you today. I am really excited for the reveal, and all the reveals we know are coming next, and hopefully in 2 weeks we are talking about my first game of Warhammer in the whole world. But for now that is all from me. Like, subscribe and share the video, but be safe and I will see you very soon. Bye.